Is the second week in October. I forget the date. That's all right. Typical fall day out here. The colors up here in Vermont are probably at their peak. So if I do nothing else today, we'll get some nice photography in, hopefully. The drone, we will attempt. We have another day where it's like low-hanging fog. I saw that coming in, so that kind of raises some risks for flying and getting cute. But that being said, we have no real particular agenda today. There's couple of campers at the head of the trail, so we're going to head deeper in and kind of like off trail to the left. So we're going to do that today, see if we have any signs of activity and take the day from there. And so shall we hit it. Thanks. Hey, we are probably 2 minutes beyond the intro, and I just heard a weird grunt. So we are going to walk along and listen in. It kind of sounded like a bear. We get a certain distance and the sound does not repeat itself, we'll continue. But came from over in that way. All right. So as I was saying, came out today with no particular agenda, but last time that happened in this relative neighborhood, that's when I had a double sighting, so who knows? Maybe that's when you're the most open to it. Okay, as a calculated risk, we're gonna save battery on the camera to get a little further out. But I'm gonna keep the camera on hand just in case I have something happen. Right now, though, it went quiet, except for that bird. That's a fake bird imitation, but it sounds like a bird. Maybe. I don't know, it's weird because it's a bird. I don't normally cave into things like this, but my hackles are up a little bit right now. Kind of like that being watched feeling. I'm not going to cave into it. I'm going to keep the camera close we'll find a middle ground approach to this. Anyway, we're going to take a segment break so I can cover some ground, get deeper in, and we'll go from there. Welcome back. We are in a place I have called before the Stump Gardens. It is a garden of stumps. And since this is one of the more interesting places along the way we've chosen to go today, we're going to have a quick, this is what it looks like, sorry. It's not playing, there you go. Loose grass, meadow, some swampy, mossy stuff. But we're going to have a look around and see if there's any tracks or signs of life in here because I haven't been in here all year. So we're kind of doing this on the fly. But that's how you do things some days. So whatever was following me or was not following me or sounded like a bear never decided to like let itself be known. So if it's there on the way back, we'll find out. If not, I guess it's going to be another unknown in a long series of unknowns. Let me just check in here real quick since we have some muddy stuff here. Maybe a deer print there. Yeah, because you got deer prints here and they were digging into this maybe. All nice and soft and chewed up. Soft and chewed up. So, things going on in the Bigfoot community lately. Conferences going on, too many to single out a particular one. There's a quintessential, what is that? Actually. We're gonna zero in on this and then take a picture and make this a you decide. So, it's a vague impression. It could be a deer double step. And look for anything else. I'm going to take a quick segment break really quick, only because I found this and want to get a picture. And I'm not going to juggle two cameras, so bear with me. I'll be back in a second. Okay, 2 seconds later, and we're back. We're looking for any duplicate tracks or anything that would formulate a pattern. Again, that could have just been a deer double step. But had enough of an interesting shape, I decided to take a picture of this second possibility. Bear with me if the camera's off. You know how I said I wasn't going to try to do a two-camera thing? Well, we're going to. Bear with me. All right. So two, basically same shape and size for those that want to see. There's my foot. Okay. I'm not saying it's anything. I'm just, for the sake of it looks interesting enough to make note of. I post it and then people can make their own decisions later when they see the video. We're just going to walk around through here then, because I found two things of interest, so let's kind of linger for a second. We've got a little bit of soft mud around here. I mean, you have deer like right in here digging into this dead wood, so it more than likely is them, but doesn't hurt to check and be thorough. So back to conferences. Yes, there are more than a few, too many to shake a stick at. My only real commentary here is going, it's not supposed to rain today. You got like a shallow spritzing kind of thing going on. Is there's one guy that I came across on the Bigfoot forums, and to the people that run the Bigfoot forums, yes, I can still see the Bigfoot forums. Suck it up, Buttercup. The guy called it what it was, a Bigfoot con, as in like a Comic-Con, because a lot of these things are basically people want to come together and hear scary Bigfoot stories and things like this. You know, and just basically talk about the subject and all that without putting out the pretense that they're some kind of high-level science guy when they're not. Care less. Deer track, never mind. Interesting. Okay. I've always seen them as more of a Comic-Con kind of thing, and if that angers people that are throwing out Bigfoot symposiums and things like that, I'm sorry, but when you're doing things in a state where you have the same speakers year after year, there's a telltale moose poo, so a moose did come through here. How solid is this stuff? Not solid, apparently. I like to stump garden, so I'm not going to walk around kicking over everyone. That answered my question. Didn't even hurt my foot. So, you know, when you're passing it off as like a symposium, a conference is pushing it. It's a Bigfoot Comic-Con event, unless you actually have, even if you have Meldrum or Dissatel or somebody like that. I mean, Meldrum has a whole collection of, you know, Bigfoot cat track casts. I mean, people go there for that kind of thing. I get that, but it's still Comic-Con-y. It's like people that want to buy Spider-Man #1 at Comic-Con, whatever. The telltale signs of hunters around. That's why it's good I wore orange kind of sort of today. Interesting though, because I didn't actually see any vehicles out this far. And did somebody actually walk this far out there? That's usually more of a bow hunter thing. Anyway, no offense to the non-bow hunters out there, just that's been my observation. Shotgun deer hunter guys usually kind of linger nearer to their trucks and whatnot. If you disagree, you have comments. You can make comments. You can correct me on that if you see fit. I will not be offended. I'm not a hunter, not a deer hunter anyway. But all right, I guess that's all we're gonna get here. I'll just do a sweep through here real quick. So there's that. The other thing, this is more of a philosophical thing than a Bigfoot thing. The nature of, like, when people friend you and unfriend you and this and that on Facebook, and people get all ticked off at the ban hammer or I block you and all that. More than a few people out there that take that kind of thing way too seriously. There are a couple of people out there who have unfriended me. I thought they were friends. They come up in people you might know and they unfriended you or whatever. And just a general commentary, their usual excuse is, you know, oh, my account got hacked. There's one person that I don't get on well, but I have blocked him to date 18 times with an account under the same name. Now, somewhere along the lines, you'll see him come along. My account got hacked. So I've had the same Facebook account since 2013. It is now the year 2021. I have never been hacked once. So what in the hell are you people doing that you're hacked this often? What are you clicking on? In a day and age when you have scammers and spammers and things coming through and God knows how many forms, get your head out of your derriere and figure out how to freaking have some cybersecurity. That's my comment on that. Because there's like 2 or 3 and just like every other day, well, my account got hacked. You get hacked a lot, dude. Whatever you're doing, you ought to get a cybersecurity book and read up on that stuff because you're bad at it. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick segment break and I'm going to proceed to an area nearby and possibly get the drone in the air to get some fall colors. Again, there's overhanging fog, so I don't know how high I'm going to safely be able to get up in the air without putting the drone at risk. So that's going to be a judgment call when I get it up there. The last time, as I said, it tried to land on the fog, and that basically means it's going to cut its engines at like 200 feet, and I'm not going to have that happen. But actually, let's check over here real quick. Since I'm here, I don't see anything obvious, and there isn't anything obvious, but I felt like looking, so there you go. All right, we're going to do a segment break, as said, and we will be back in a few. Okay, we're back. We're heading into a different meadow, which may or may not have a flooding problem. We'll kind of gauge that as we go. So far, no. More moose poo. Again, just checking for signs of life. In my infinite wisdom, I'm actually heading closer to where the gunshots are coming from. But again, hopefully wearing orange. You don't have a bunch of redneck and numbnuts out here that are going to shoot me accidentally. That would suck. Yeah, now we're hitting some swampiness. Let's see. Up and over. Yeah, this kind of cuts right down the middle. But can we walk across this, or does this get all wet and treacherous, or is it just this little stream thing here? Basically what I'm talking about, this little thing. Definitely jumpable. I just wonder if the whole place is laced with them. But let's find out. Step over, seems solid. I'll just have to keep my eyes open. Kind of walking through. Let's see. Yeah, I've given this rant before, but I've kind of gotten old and crusty in my squatching days. And for those, hello, what might you be? You would be a deer track. Reason I stop and look is in this mossy stuff, the indents aren't exactly... I have found a moose or deer trail though. Possibly both. But, because the thing is, what I'm finding today are deer tracks, and then you find moose poo, so they're both obviously coming through here. That's a moose track. Yeah, both. But tired old rant or not, the bottom line is, you know, if you're going to unfriend me over something, I was thinking, one of the people I was thinking of, how can I get across this is the question. Not right there, but can I jump it over here to the left? Or sorry, to the right. Looks as though I might be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. That was hard. Once upon a time, a couple of moons ago, this gentleman ran a forum, kind of a holdout past the days of, before the days of Facebook, when forums were the thing. And I had been on this forum for a long time. And long story short, I had 6 visits there in as many years. And it's like I almost went, it's like I went and did my annual cameo appearance on this thing once or twice without ever really, you know, posting or contributing. But long story short, I came on one day to find myself having been banned from this forum. And to my knowledge, I had no issue with the person running the forum. And I had not spoken to this person in quite some time either. So I didn't really see where this was really justifiable, but, you know, crazy me. So I asked the question, you know, it seemed like a fair enough one. What gives? And he basically said he had heard such and such from so-and-so and this and that. And he had basically, and then he banned me. And not only that, he unfriended me on Facebook and ran away like a coward and blocked me. And I didn't even really let myself get angry about it. I just kind of like, okay, if you're that fickle, then if I might be so blunt, F you. I think we're done here. Since then, that person has, well, I guess it's not that he unblocked me as much as I guess he gets hacked every other Thursday, and then he didn't block me again, but then again, I never gave him a reason to block me in the first place. But, you know, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to create new conflict with him, but what I think happened was he had a fellow admin on there with whom I did get into it a while back through the actions of a completely third party who was the pot stirrer and all these things. And basically, if people that claim to be your friends, and this is where I'm going to throw some wisdom out there over the years, if somebody claims to be your friend and they take sides in something that they don't know the details of and they walk away, they're not your friend. And at that point, frankly, F them. They're not worth the time or effort. Screw them. Stay true to the ones you will. And I have found over the years that when you have a crisis in your life and people show up to help you, the people that you really thought were your friends very, very rarely are not the people you thought. So by the same token, on the flip side, keep an open mind too. I am going to take a break and do some photography in this lovely meadow, and then there's a meadow behind me I'm going to go to too. We'll go back for that. We'll be back. A couple of maybe tracks, maybe some kind of odd grunt that may or may not have been a bear so far today. We'll be back in a minute. So we're back again. As I said, there's a meadow. If I can get in here, get around this little stream system thing that's going on, we can have a look. It kind of looks, if I stay to the right, I should be able to pull this off. Getting around this lovely grabber bush and then going to my right because there's like a little puddle system in here I don't want to get all soaked from. More like if I stay to the high ground, I can probably stay dry-ish. Factoring in mud of an unknown consistency in grabber bushes. We know my thoughts on those. But they're not that bad in here. Hopefully with the fall, they're kind of giving up the ghost. And we can take a look at whatever this is. I don't think I've been in this little system before. This is in the potentially new one. Little back step there. No, I don't think I've been in here. So I can navigate. So this actually isn't that bad. Nice little pond system in here. Let's go up and around behind this tree, and it should put me by the shore. Definitely hunters in the vicinity, though. Yeah, that's the camera was sleeping on us there. Or possibly got jostled by a bush in my entry into this system that I'm now going to parallel for a little bit. Again, looking for track sign and the like. So, I don't really find that much in here. I wonder if the monkey people hate grabber bushes as much as I do. You can go over to that hill and see if that's just another meadow or a whole system in here. I want to say, like from 2 years ago, I had the drone in the air and I have a rough idea, indeterminate, of this system. I think it's just this peanut-shaped meadow and this here pond. Can I get by this or no? I cut myself up somehow. Solid, solid, solid. Cut over. Wet foot. Yay. Rock over the rocks. And let's see, you're not going to let me through there without getting my feet all soaked. You suck. All right. High ground. Grabber bushes. Regain my balance. Cut between these two. Back around this. And more meadow and swampiness. And is that solid enough I can get through that or not? It's not looking like it. All right, I'm not going to scramble over that. It's more meadow. I think we get the gist. And there's not a single track in here at all. I like the way you're just like sitting there waiting to jab me right in the throat. Awesome. Like that. Okay. Back the way we came through here, thread the needle, so to speak. Down here and make our way back. Behind the rocks. And find this lovely little thing where I didn't have to get my feet wet in the first place. And I want to avoid the beaver stick and give you a nice view of the pond before we make our way back. So at some point in the future, as I program my mind to this, one, we're going to bring a fishing pole for this. And we're going to probably set up right on that this little lump over there. And then explore everything back behind here when I don't hear people shooting in the distance and not knowing where they are. That's the other thing about today too. I've seen a couple of hunters, so you have to kind of factor in some hunter safety as well. On a side note, I did run into 2 hunters last week further the other way where I came in who were looking for 2 wayward hunting dogs. I hope they found their dogs. Just to offer them some sympathy. They were kind of looking bummed, and the one dog they had in their truck was looking lonely, like he was missing his buddies. So to the 2 hunters out there, if you watch my channel by any chance, I hope you found your dogs. And if you did, and you wanted to throw in the comments that you did, that'd be cool. If not, yeah, all right. If you don't, I don't have the biggest channel in the world. I don't pretend that I do. But we're going to make our way back. How did I do this the first time? I was up here higher. That's what I did. I was going down into the wetness, and I'm not going to do that now. I just walk through this. There's a perfect track, and you know why it looks like a perfect track? Because it looks exactly the same size and shape as my boot. That's why. So, chalk that up to Mike Squatch. I think I explained that last week too, so we're not going to go back into that again. Sorry. You know, what am I doing? Come back here. We are going to take a segment break while I do some photography of this lovely. What was I thinking? Let me kind of line up a shot of the pond for photography. I'm on this lovely pond and I haven't done anything. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back yet again, still making a report. A couple of pictures later, and a little trickier in here going out than coming in, or so it looks. But as long as I parallel this little stream, this isn't exactly rocket science. Back into the mud. That's all right. And once again, we shoo a spider from hanging from my hat. Part of the job, if you want to call this a job. There are those on Facebook that would start an argument on that alone. No, I don't think it's a job. It was a play on words. But regardless, get over it, and let's not get too involved in that. Let's kind of go around this, head back out. This is kind of where we came in, so we are, all right, we're still doing good on battery. So the new camera versus the old one apparently has about 30 to 40 minutes more battery life than the other one. So far, it's living up to that reputation. I just have to find a way to jump back. How did I do this? Or did I go over there? Yeah, I think it was over here. Got into a little bit of a tug of war with a pine tree who lost. Bastard. It became the principle of the thing, him trying to pull me back. Ow. And me saying no. Because I wanted to jump here and make my way back. because I can line up with my trail I found and start making my way back. Kind of gauge the effect my own tracks have at this point in here to gauge for further future finds. But at this rate, I have to jump another stream. So what I'm going to do, yes, you guessed it, segment break. And we'll navigate the streams and start covering some ground again.